After parting with Hanamura, I once again proceed through the school. The invisible walls continue to bar my path. Undoubtedly, the enemy is leading me exactly where he wants me.
Is there no end to this?
The rules of the P1 Grand Prix are powerfully enforced. I tried to see if I could destroy one of those walls, but it doesn't seem as though I can. Maybe if I used all my strength, but in that case, I'd be at a disadvantage in my next fight. Either way, it didn't seem worth the trouble, my bad. I strayed from the suggested route on purpose and opened one of the classroom doors. Holy crud, it opened! I sense no enemies here, and it doesn't look likely that I'll run into my next opponent here either. It should be safe here. Once again, I link my communicator with my persona. This time, unlike before, my senses cleanly and smoothly spread outward. I sense two familiar reactions.
Akihiko and Aigis. They both seem to be okay.
First, I focus my senses to contact with Aigis, who's closer by.
Can you hear me, Aigis?
Mitsuru-san, I am relieved to finally hear from you. Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I've confirmed his safety. I'm sure he won't be defeated that easily.
Aigis laughs upon hearing my words.
Let's exchange information while we can.
I gave her a simple outline of the current situation. I mentioned the students that were drawn here. My suspicion that this Grand Prix mastermind is almost certainly related to Labrys, and what I've heard of a girl when I'm assuming to be Labrys.
I saw that girl a moment ago, though I lost sight of her when the invisible walls blocked my path.
I've been told she looks more human than you. Is that possible?
Not only that, she was almost indistinguishable from a normal person. I couldn't believe it either, yet I definitely sensed a personality module. I don't believe there's any mistake that she is Labrys.
I see.
There's no doubt that General Teddy has strong ties to Labrys in the Kirijo group, but this girl, whom we believe to be Labrys, is apparently walking around unconstrained. If he can set up this many walls, it should be easy for him to capture her too.
Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labrys ties into this situation yet, but be careful. Hello? I lost her.
Well, that stinks. Aigis' voice trails off as my connection to her dies out again. I wonder if the enemy noticed our conversation and took preventative measures. Though the voice I'm hearing now definitely isn't General Teddy's.
Some other way! If there was, then...
That's the same voice from before. Labrys! Is that you?
It's happening again. The voice reaches me through my persona ability, but I have the strangest sensation about it. I get the impression that the voice is seeping out of this place itself.
Why are you laughing? What about this is funny?
Who is she addressing?
I don't want to fight him anymore!
That reminds me. Hanamura said that the environments here are formed by the thoughts of those who enter this world. Could these be Labrys' innermost thoughts? Is that why everything about this place radiates her feelings?
What do you think we are?
For a moment, I experienced not just a voice, but a powerful wave of emotions. They bombard me through my persona senses. A strong sadness, confusion, despair. I can't help but fall to my knees, though nothing is assaulting me directly. How can I describe this weight? One possible explanation crosses my mind.
She's not addressing anyone. These are her memories. I see. So that's what's going on.
I think back to what General Teddy said, that making people suffer is fun. I dismissed it as a barbaric desire not worth thinking about too deeply. But in truth, what kind of horrors would someone have to go through to emerge with such a stunted perspective?
I'm finally beginning to see the relationship between this tournament and Labrys.
In any case, I must proceed on to learn anything. I redouble my resolve and begin walking again. The monitor suddenly turns on, showing the gosh dang General Teddy.
Getting so sentimental for? The Grand Prix not over yet!
Then you intend to continue this meaningless farce?
I'll decide what's meaningless or not! Bring out the next challenger!
As soon as the general shouts, smoke gushes out, obstructing my view. It seems he isn't willing to listen to reason at all. Not that I expected otherwise. Who will I be forced to fight this time? I strain my eyes to see through the smoke. It looks like...
You.
Oh, Naoto! Crud, okay. I remember that face. Naoto Shirogane. He was present, or in this case, she was present as a police observer when Labrys was being transported to Yakushima. It was thanks to his quick thinking that we discovered Labrys had been taken to Inaba. If our trip hadn't been disrupted by the hijacking, he might still be with us in Yakushima. But why is he here?
Problem? I didn't think we'd run into each other so soon.
Well, I mean, it's later than we encounter Mitsuru in your story now, so gosh dang.
Is this another illusion? No. I can see that it isn't. Why are you here? I'll answer that question later. It would be best to say as little as possible for now.
With that, the young man lifts a finger to his lips in a gesture to remain silent. Directly afterwards, the sticky situation runs through my body. It's then that I understand what he meant. Once again, this noise will prevent us from understanding each other properly. He's probably also noticed the effect at work. Nothing we say right now could be called conserving or conversing. If we both understand that, neither of us need take what the other says personally. That's why he called for temporary silence. It's an amazing assessment, given the brief time in which he had to make it. Before long, as expected, the young man before me undergoes a complete attitude reversal.
Seriously, such impatience handling the grunt work yourself like this. Isn't micromanaging like this the style of an incompetent leader? One who can't see the bigger picture?
This isn't how it truly feels. I say
The
nothing.
silent treatment, huh? That's fine. I understand perfectly.
This reminds me of that one moment in Slide 3. As long as Mitsuru stays silent, it'll all go fine.
You don't believe in people. Not a single one. You have friends and allies, but believing in them is a different thing. I suspect you'll never break down that wall. Shall I say it for you? You're actually scared to.
Okay, why is Naoto being more savage than that one guy in Slide 3 ever was?
The notion of growing attached to something and losing it scares you so much that you'll share nothing truly important to you. Even if you want to believe in your friends, you can't. That's not true.
After the words slipped from my mouth, I realized that the argument is
Of
futile.
course it is. Why not simply admit it? In truth, you have your hands full just expiating your family's sins. You don't need the added burden of others placing their lives in your hands. Isn't that how you really feel? No.
The young man smirked, as if ridiculing my inability to stop myself from responding to his allegations, despite knowing the futility of doing so. But the smirk only helps me to regain my composure. The real Shirogane would never make that face. This is only an illusion.
There's no use continuing this. Not until I eliminate this irritating mirage.
Alrighty, bring it on, Naoto. We'll see who's gonna win this time.
Finals.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is just use the burst. Oh, I did not mean to do that, but hey, this move is actually pretty nice to use. It's probably one of the better specials. I think it's might be slightly better than use. Not sure though. But like Mitsuru is so much fun to play as an alt. Like, good lord. Okay, ow. Naoto, stop. I will say one thing though. Oh gosh, my burst is locked down. I can't use my persona anymore. Okay. But yeah, this is gonna hurt. And now let's just use our burst, and oh, it feels so good using it just a natural, like, move special now.
An elegant finish.
Did Naoto apologize? I turn towards the monitor on the assumption that General Teddy will appear to mock us, but for some reason, this time he doesn't. I'm not sure why, but it at least allows us time to calmly talk things over. I look towards the young man once again.
Am I getting through to you now? Yes. The same goes for me, I presume. It seems we were spellbound until the fight began, as we both suspected. They disrupted our communications to drive a wedge between us and make us fight, though it's a mystery to me as to where it draws such personal slights for the illusions before us. I agree.
He seems to bear no animosity and is willing to discuss things, but to be honest, I'm not sure where we stand. Why is he here? I can think of several possible explanations, but if he secretly followed us in, his canniness may prove dangerous. He gives a sudden smile, as if sensing my reluctance and trying to assuage it. What the heck? I've never said some of these words in my life. What the heck, Mitsuru? Why is your vocabulary so good?
There's no need to be cagey. I don't intend to dodge whatever questions you have. You were probably wondering 3 things when you saw me here. First, how did I enter this world? Second, what am I doing in Inaba? And third, if I came here looking for you, what are my true intentions? No wonder you've made a name for yourself as a detective. You're correct on all counts. The first answer is easy. You know now that I can use a persona, allowing me access to the TV world. As for the second, there's no great mystery why I would come to Inaba. I live here. You wouldn't happen to be acquainted with Amagi and Hanamura. You've met my senpai? Your friends. I gather that you're comrades who fought alongside each other during the serial murder case last year. I assume you entered the TV together for the same reason they did, and found yourself dragged into this mess as well.
Whatever doubts I may have about them, it seems they're here because we dragged them into this. I'm not very comfortable with that.
So, I must apologize to you. No doubt you already know, but the object we seek has been brought to this world. It's most likely the cause of this disturbance. Whoever learned of this world's existence must have thought it would be useful in whatever they're scheming. You apologizing to me?
Shirogane shrugs with a
Are you
smile.
so sure you can trust me? You have no guarantee that I'm telling the truth. And there's still the answer to your third question to consider. I haven't yet told you my true motives. Fair enough. But if you're friends with Amagi and Hanamura, I feel I can trust you. Their bonds with their friends are real. Perhaps I lied about that too. But then why would you bring it up? No, you're no villain. That's what my intuition tells me. You aren't at all the person I thought you'd be. I'll take that as a compliment.
His smile suggests that it was meant as one. It makes him look his age, or even younger. I can't help but smile myself at the idea that he's not exactly the hardened detective I imagined him
The
to be.
Teddy who appeared on that monitor is not our friend. He's an imposter. You have proof of this? I found the real Teddy. Our enemy can fog both our eyes and ears. It's possible they can make themselves look like someone else. I see. But I still don't know why they chose to take on Teddy's appearance.
Upon hearing this, I sigh and close my
It
eyes.
might be to make you all suffer. If they led you to believe your friend betrayed you, it would make this all the more painful. There's some truth to that, but it seems too simple a motive to warrant this elaborate of a disturbance.
He's wrong. If the motive somehow connected to Labrys' memories, what had been incomprehensible becomes completely understandable. My conclusion must have shown through on my face since Shirogane trails off in understanding. At that moment came something like a touch. It's a sensation I hadn't felt since entering this world, but I know this feeling. It's the effect of being brushed by a persona's informational support powers.
Rise-san! Rise-san, can you hear me?
Naoto-kun? So you ended up here too!
The voice that echoes is much like the voice I heard over the PA system, but it's quite different. The announcements must have been part of the culprit's tricks. The Rise's voice immediately turns quavery.
So glad. Ever since this weird fake Teddy kidnapped me, I've been all alone. The others are fighting each other too.
It's all right. Just calm down and tell me where you are.
I think it's the announcement room. It's kind of off though. There are these invisible walls around and I can't get out. The fake Teddy was watching me until a moment ago, so I couldn't use my persona.
She seems to have been under the General's close watch, limiting her chance to use a persona until now. As soon as the General stepped out for a moment, she seized the opportunity to contact Shirogane.
You're in the announcement room now, yes? I'm headed straight there, so stay put.
Huh? Who's that? Why can I hear your voice but not sense you?
She sounds extremely confused. I had temporarily forgotten that my equipment prevents me from being detected by persona abilities to an extent. Prepared it after facing an enemy with similar powers once before. It works by making my presence difficult to detect unless they know me well and recognize my signature. Shirogane senses her confusion as well and introduces me to her. His introduction is accurate, yet concise, I can see he's a first-rate detective.
Mitsuru Kirijo. Wait, Kirijo? Are you that Kirijo?
Yes, I literally get this all the time.
Yes, that's correct.
The CEO?
Not quite. I am the founding family's.
You hired me for a commercial before. Oh, crud. Thank you very much for your patronage.
A commercial?
Oh, yes. I'm Rise Kuchikawa. I'm a classmate of the others you met, but I'm also kind of a starlet, and, it's hard to explain.
Rise-san, that can wait. There's no knowing when our adversary will return.
Oh, all right.
Kujikawa said that she was captured, but why would they treat her differently? I suspect it was to block communication. If we could speak freely as we just did, their whole scheme would collapse. Ah, so that's why Teddy and Rise-san were the hosts. What do you mean? The real Teddy has a similar power. That's why those two were taken separately. Not only that, but by acting as the two who had disappeared, the enemy thought it could portray them as traitors. Though it appears that Teddy managed to escape on his own somehow.
How come I'm the only one fake Teddy is watching over personally? Sheesh.
You have the most powerful investigative persona. They must have had to take greater pains with you.
I think we're keeping this going too long. We've exchanged what we know already, so I'm gonna shut down the comms link. Be careful, you guys.
I face Shirogane once
We are
again.
responsible for this case. Rescuing the ones who've been dragged into it is part of our mission. Besides, she's another of your friends, isn't she? All the more reason for me to go save her.
He makes a small gesture, as if searching for the right words. After taking some time to make up his mind, he looks me in the eye once
You're
more.
quite prepared for this. It would be unfair of me not to tell you everything. Please hear me out. The reason I came here was to... You're a real straight arrow.
I cut him off
You're
intentionally.
very proud to be a detective, no? I can see it in your eyes. You would never sell out your beloved justice. If you've done nothing to be ashamed of, that makes us even. I haven't been entirely forthright with you either. Kirijo-san. It seems I still have much to learn.
Despite what I said, I can make an educated guess to his motives. He's a persona user. That means the police selected as their observer someone with the potential. If his only task was to watch over the transfer, there would be no need to send a persona user, leading me to believe that he's been asked to secretly spy on me or my organization. But we have nothing to hide anymore. There are many things that shouldn't be made public, but I'm sure his judgment is sound.
Well then, I will once again entrust my friend's safety and the resolution of this case to you, in honor of the bond we are forming, Mitsuru Kirijo. I promise that I will not let you down.
I smile back at him and move on without looking back. I know that there is someone up ahead I must atone for. There is no hesitation in my steps. I reach the third floor. After turning corner and going on for a while, it finally comes into view. The announcement room. This is where Kujikawa is supposed to be.
Are you Kirijo-san? Kirijo?
As I open the door, two students greet me. One of them is the voice I heard through my persona, Kujikawa, I presume. The other is a girl I didn't see on the is a girl I didn't see
Hang
on the
tight,
video.
Miss President. We'll be okay now that help's arrived. Kirijo-san, this girl got dragged into this mess too. We have to help her before that general comes back.
So you're Kujikawa. Sorry, but I'll need you to step back.
Huh?
I turn to face
We
Miss
meet at
President.
last. Astounding. You really do look human, but you're not, are you, Labrys?
The girl jumps at hearing this. Kujikawa still looks unsure, but I can't drag her into this. I place myself between her and Labrys.
Huh? What do you mean she's not human? Isn't she a victim who got dropped inside the TV?
Labrys being a victim is one way to see it, but if what I've learned thus far is accurate, then the one who set up this Grand Prix is most likely...
Labrys, our records show that you were loaded with special equipment, undoubtedly a function that affects thoughts and scrambles recognition. That's why we saw and heard illusions whenever we fought. It would also explain General Teddy's appearance, and those who met you believing you to be human.
Special equipment? Labrys? What are you talking about?
Labrys' protestations of ignorance sounds as if she's in denial about something she already knows. It's tragic hearing the desperation in her
I'm
voice.
sure the reason why you captured 2 people with analytical personas wasn't just to keep them from interfering with your designs. I came to a realization when I noticed I was the only one who sensed that noise. An analytical persona's searches clash with your ability. They dispel illusions, so you needed to confine them. You feared that if they caught you off guard and used their persona's ability, this...
With that, I summoned my persona Artemisia, and I accidentally skipped the last thing she said. My gosh, I'm terrible with this. Just as expected, noise immediately runs across Labrys' body. It's exactly the sensation I felt before each round in the tournament. Artemisia cancels out the force scrambling our senses, and the illusion begins to wear off. Little by little, the facade fades away, and her true appearance emerges.
No! What's going on? This can't be.
What was your motive, Labrys? Was it revenge in the end? I can understand why you'd hold a grudge. I caught glimpses of it on my way here. But your hatred should be centered on the Kirijo group. Why drag innocent students into your vendetta?
Kirijo group? No. I don't want to remember. Never again. Miss President, Kirijo-san, she seems to be in a lot of pain. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but you can't push her any further.
At that moment, Labrys grabs the equipment on her back that I had mistaken for wings. Suddenly, it suddenly separates and transforms into a giant battle axe that's larger than she is.
Miss President?
Get back! Hurry!
Labrys approaches one step at a time, her axe at the ready. Her steps are halting, but she's moving with battle clearly in
The
mind.
injunction against harming humans has been removed? I see. No wonder she was sealed away.
Behind me, I hear Kuchikawa
Is
pleading.
there no other choice but to fight?
I won't let you do any more damage, Labrys. It's me you want.
Shut up! Shut up! I like that!
Okay then, we're just going there already. Okay, time to just fight Labrys. Yeah.
Final.
Alright, bring it on, Labrys. I'm ready for you at this burst. And you... Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, good lord. I'm getting my butt kicked now because... Okay, now just stop, Labrys. Listen, I have weapon triangle advantage here, even though that doesn't matter. In a fighting game, I don't care. I still have weapon triangle advantage, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, come here, you. There we go. There we go. All out attack. Perfect. Just gonna go into that again. All out attack. Leading into that. Perfect. Doing good. And... Oh gosh, no. Wasn't expecting this. Okay. Ow. Okay, this blows. Get back. Okay, now I'm just gonna do this. Get my evoker ready, and bam. Is there any way to not be able to cancel her super? I don't know.
An elegant finish.
Boop.